Robert Ruark's 1955 novel, Something of Value, tells the tale of two men entangled on opposite sides of the Mau Mau Uprising in Kenya. This historical event saw the Kenya Land and Freedom Army fighting against British colonists in their quest for independence from the United Kingdom. Drawing inspiration from Ruark's own African safari experiences, the novel was later adapted into a 1957 film featuring Sidney Poitier and Rock Hudson, directed by Richard Brooks. The narrative unfolds in 1940s Kenya, where Kimani, a member of the Kikuyu people, works on a farm owned by Henry Mackenzie, a British man. Henry hires Karanja, a respected Kikuyu tribe leader, to assist in managing the plantation. Despite the tragic loss of his family due to a recent plague, Karanja's son Kimani grows up as close as brothers with Henry's son, Peter. Kimani, attending predominantly white schools with Peter, dreams of inheriting and operating the farm. As teenagers, Peter and Kimani are invited on a safari with Jeff, Elizabeth's husband and the owner of a neighboring plantation. While tradition dictates that Kimani should serve as Peter's hunting assistant, he rebels against this expectation, resenting the sudden imposition of inferiority by Jeff. During the safari, a disgruntled Kimani's performance suffers, leading to a confrontation where Jeff slaps him. Determined to seek revenge, Kimani attempts to leave the Mackenzie farm but gets ensnared in a wild animal trap. Peter rescues him, bringing him back to the estate. Against this personal drama, political tensions intensified between indigenous Kenyans and British colonialists. Land ownership becomes a contentious issue, with a stark contrast in distribution. 1.25 million Kikuyu own a mere 2,000 square miles, while 30,000 British colonialists possess 12,000 square miles of land by 1948. The British expropriate much of the land previously owned by the Kikuyu and other tribes, aiming to shift indigenous Kenyans away from subsistence farming and into low-paid roles on British-owned farms. Despite years of peaceful demonstrations and organization by the Kikuyu and other tribes, the situation escalates into violence in October 1952, marking the beginning of the Mau Mau Uprising. The movement claims its first European victim when a group of Mau Mau-affiliated fighters fatally stabs a woman in Thika. Shortly after, Senior Chief Waruhiu, a prominent British supporter in Kenya, is assassinated by Mau Mau fighters, prompting the British-born Governor Evelyn Baring to declare a state of emergency. Motivated by the racial mistreatment experienced during the safari, Kimani aligns himself with the Mau Mau Uprising. His initial task involves successfully stealing a supply of British weapons. Over the following years, Kimani and Peter take divergent paths. Kimani ascends within the Mau Mau ranks, while Peter seeks balance by leading safaris to support the struggling farm, left short-handed as many workers join the uprising. Peter also becomes engaged to Holly Keith. In a raid led by Kimani on Jeff's farm, Jeff and his children are killed, but Elizabeth survives. Simultaneously, a separate Mau Mau group attacks the Mackenzie farm, forcing Holly to defend it. Acknowledging the safety challenges in the rural setting, Henry arranges for Holly and Elizabeth to relocate to Nairobi, Kenya's capital, until the conflict subsides. Outraged by Kimani's actions, especially the death of his sister's children and the attempt on Holly's life, Peter tracks Kimani down. A confrontation ensues, resulting in Kimani's death as he falls into a pit of bamboo spikes. Something of Value offers an intriguing perspective on the Mau Mau Uprising, although it tends to present a somewhat historically inaccurate view of the movement as influenced by Soviet communists. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.